if we're going to have fewer and fewer children and live longer and longer lives, assuming we get through this crisis, and assuming that longevity is going to happen, and assuming that the creativity of people will be ever more liberated in order to deal with the crises and evolve our potential, that would be a positive scenario. Assuming a positive scenario, we're going to have a far longer time beyond the reproductive years than we do during the reproductive years. And we're going to have fewer children or no children. So the energy that has been more or less bottled up in reproduction and survival is going to be liberated en masse, or not. I mean, if we go through a breakdown, it won't be liberated. But if things like the global summit that we're at, where we're saying, can we create a more synergistic society? And many people think we can. So that's what the effort is right now. It's a birthing effort. And it's a very problematic birth.
Yes.
But let's assume it is a birth. And there's a tendency in nature for the baby to come through. I believe there's a tendency in evolution for us to make it. Not that it's predetermined, but it's pre-potential in the system for there to be, I call it synergistic democracy. I like that better than socialism or collectivism.
Synergistic.
Democracy would be a democracy like we are doing experimentally at the summit, where each person gets more of a chance to express unique creativity as part of functional teams that themselves have the creativity of that and needs of that team, like finances, environment, health, and need each other systemically in order for any one of them to fulfill itself, more or less, and much less the people within the systems to fulfill themselves. I'm assuming that same tendency that got us up the chain of life, you know, from subatomic particles to us sitting here, wouldn't stop here. The tendency, and my spirituality is to express the universal intelligence running through the entire universal system towards ever and higher levels of coordinated whole systems that then have to connect with other coordinated whole systems, as in ecologies, and that we are about to become a coordinated whole system on planet Earth.
Wow. Yeah.
And we've never seen it before at this level of system. But we are 50 trillion cells talking to 50 trillion cells about how to coordinate a planet. Isn't that lovely?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So we, you know, your eyes, look at this. How did this happen?
Yeah.
So the power of coordination, coherence, synergistic convergence is a universal pattern.
Yeah, and if, you know, I was thinking again that the comment that I made this morning about, you know, it's easy right now to look at where the U.S. is or where the world is around economics, and yet when you have a larger view and just look at the last, you know, 40, 50 years of civil rights, and I was discussing, you know, in such a short period of time, you know, a man who wouldn't be able to sit and have dinner with us in this restaurant is in the White House.
Yes.
You know, and that was a very brief period of evolution, a very painful period, but of how humanity
that was,
evolved.
you know, I graduated from college in 1951, got married in the 50s and had all those children. So I sort of came out into the world in the 60s at the very same time that women were coming out into the world, so that we see the result of a woman Secretary of State and a black man president.
Yes.
That's my generation did that, and then that it's stunning, actually. And I really, you know, the greatest pride that we might have as Americans is that it really did happen here. We had a terrible civil rights situation where people were still being lynched and killed when I was going to college. And here we have this, and I think what we really are seeing now is that the existing pyramidal, top-down social architecture, where you see the same Obama getting up into the presidency and being trapped in an oppositional system. And I asked somebody today, what do you think is going to happen now that the Republicans are in? And this man said, nothing.
Yeah, good luck.
I said, nothing is going to happen. Absolutely nothing can happen. So where is it going to happen? It's here. It's in the civil society. It's in the internet connectivity. It's what that wonderful man Nick was saying. I don't remember his last name, who spoke right after me. The web-based intelligence with this kind of consciousness is so far superior to being the top of an organized religion, a nation state. Look at our president is such a great example. I think he is a great moral leader. I know there's a lot of criticism of him on the left and on the right. I'm amazed at his quality of being. It's the quality of being of that man is fundamentally superb. And Hillary too, that she went through that entire thing of Wellesley graduate, being with her husband, all of the scandals, the running for president, and then being able to be Secretary of State. And they're holding the fort, the two of them, for the new to show up. That's really a good way to say it. They're both new people, but they're in power positions holding it. But who's going to show up? It doesn't matter. Somebody said if the Dalai Lama was president, he wouldn't be able to do anything.
That's very true, yes.
All right, so we can't look to say, oh, well, he didn't do a good job. Let's see, right like the Global Summit, all these wonderful web geniuses that I'm meeting, because I have a passion for a peace room as sophisticated as a war room. The war rooms track enemies and how to defeat them. The internet would track innovations, connect them, and invite everybody to participate. Turn on human creativity.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I think that's very much what we're seeing, and certainly what we're hearing here.